the Doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. My planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got 2 hearts, your life is safe. Run into the Master Raw Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else. Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate. Cyberman, a TARDIS, baby. Would you like a jelly, baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo. I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me. I'm Doctor Who. Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH, Doctor Who, What, When, Where, How, the X-Men Days of Future Past of Doctor Who podcasts. As always, I am one of your hosts. Call me Professor X. If you can't stand to call me the nerd. I only use Cerebro to store Doctor Who facts and fan fiction. I'm Adam O'Sullivan. Joining me as always is the ever-lovely Mystique. She can make herself look like anything, but always ends up as a pair of David Tennant's boxers.
Always.
It's Nicchia shit.
Hello. I'm sorry that I didn't dress, but Mystique usually is nude.
That's right.
And so when you said I had to come as an X-Men character, it's a lot easier.
She usually has a lot of blue covering her, but we'll work through it.
You know.
With us today is a friend of ours. We've wanted him as a guest ever since we started the podcast about a month ago. He has more hair than I do, so that's why I'm going to call him Wolverine. It's Andrew Dawson.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd call me Wolverine, but I think if I existed in the X-Men universe, I'd be one of those like real lame powers. Like, you know,
like what?
Yeah, is it in what was the terrible third X-Men?
Oh, X-Men 3, The Last Stand.
Yeah, The Last Stand. There's all those people that have like, you know, it's sort of like those grade 1 or level 1 powers. Like some guy can make his skin a little bit prickly.
Yeah.
It's like, I think imagine being stuck with that.
Yeah, that would be a pretty rubbish one. Mine would be something like, I don't know, my superpower is actually to be late for everything. And I find that it's a shit power.
You get to the robbery late, everyone's dead. You're like, sorry, that's my power. You guys all knew it.
But listen, that's how I get out of the court case in the end, you know. I mean, I'm sorry. I thought we said 7. I'm sorry.
I would hope to be Professor X, but I don't think I'd be that level. I'd probably be, like you, level 1, sort of. In the first X-Men movie, there was a guy named Toad, whose special power was just he had a long tongue.
Wasn't that Alan Cummings?
No, he was Nightcrawler.
Yes,
Nightcrawler.
Yes. Yeah, he was in the second movie, yes. And we will talk about Alan Cumming a little bit later. But before we do, let's start how we always start with a new guest. Andrew, would you like to walk us through your experience with Doctor Who?
Well, it
sounds like a tragic story.
It does.
I'm actually reliving some childhood trauma. I mean that sincerely. I growing up in Tasmania. Shut up.
Shut up. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, mother heads, you got cut off. We're mostly related. The stories are true.
Yeah.
Growing up, we had, probably from some of my earliest memories, TV, we had ABC. That was the only channel that we had. And then this combination of like channel 9 and 10. So we had 2 channels.
What, on snow? A snow version of it?
Yeah, because especially in Hobart, it's really mountainous, so you couldn't get all the channels. So ABC on every night was Doctor Who. This was when I was little, and one of my earliest memories was watching Doctor Who. Like, it's probably like 5 p.m, I think, is probably when it was on.
I think it was on at 6.
And it scared me so much, I went and hid. And I think I've had this background thing whenever the Doctor Who's on, I think my brain just goes, maybe you want to avoid that, because...
That's really interesting because we had Kath Griffin on an early episode and her experience was very similar. She saw one episode when she was very young, got too scared and never watched it ever again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like memories can distort, but there were these like rectangle shaped fuzzy things.
That sounds a bit like what Kath is looking at. Huh?
No way. Someone else had this experience?
Wait. Was it 1979?
This would have been in the very early 90s.
Okay.
When so it would have been a repeat, I'm guessing.
Definitely.
And I remember
Fuzzy.
and I remember for like years afterwards, like my dad would be like, Doctor Who's on, you might want to leave the room. And I think I just did. And looking back now, I'm like, what a little softie.
Yeah, you should have just punched your dad and said, man up.
Doctor Who's on now, bitch.
Yeah.
It's like, no, make her stop.
And we also do a podcast on family relations. So we'll be doing that
We'll
later.
release that a lot later. So you've never watched another episode since then? When we asked you to be on, were you like, nah, oh God.
No, I was nervous because I'm like, I don't want to be that lame person who train wrecks the conversation. You guys are talking about something and your listeners are going, oh yeah, this is really good Doctor Who chat. And I'm going, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What is that? How many seasons is it?
Yeah.
Where's it's a woman now, is that?
It's good to have somebody who's not a big fan because the discussion it opens it up. Because if you get a whole lot of Whovians together, and God love it, I love a whole lot of Whovians together.
Yeah, it's called the Single Men's Club.
Yeah.
Shots fired from Andrew Dawson there.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I'm in that club
I
too.
would just like to specify I'm a married woman.
Yes.
With blonde hair.
And I like to specify that I'm a single man, so good joke.
Yeah. Laying the smack down.
And I'll have you know that what season is it is our favourite question. So feel free to ask that at any point during
It's season 11. Bam.
Damn.
Do you know why I know that? Because on iView it says.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Or season 40 if you include the...
Old Who, which I do.
That's interesting because season 11, like, that's literally one season a decade almost. Okay, no, I didn't do my maths on that.
It has been around for 110 years.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah,
Very
I
long.
did not think that through.
Half that, 55 years.
So why do they call it season 11?
Season 11 of the rebooted series.
Yeah, so
okay.
it had a hiatus I called the Wilderness Years.
One thing I've always appreciated about Doctor Who is that I'm always a fan of, like, because especially with science fiction, production values are a huge thing. So when you're working with a public BBC budget, Doctor Who has that charm to it where it doesn't have heaps and heaps of CGI. And obviously there's a bit now, given technology's changed.
Yeah, it's a lot better now than what I grew up watching.
But
Doctor Who has never had the same budget behind it that Star Trek or Star Wars has.
No.
So they made a big 50th anniversary special, but they've never tried to get Doctor Who into movies. And there's always this constant overbearing thing of like, is it going to come back next year? Is it going to be too expensive for the BBC? Is it popular enough to warrant the expense?
And I mean, haven't they learnt this by now? Because it went off the air for a while and it just kept going. So people did Big Finish did audios. Yep. People wrote really good writers wrote books. So it just kept going. It won't die.
Yeah.
So put the money into it because it'll come back.
And surely they're making a shitload of money from the merchandise.
Oh, come on. Of course they are.
They just want to regenerate every year so they can produce more new merchandise.
No, we don't want that.
No,
I like Jodie.
Yeah, I like Jodie
too.
too.
Stay.
All right, let's get into our first segment, Doctor Who News. Bethany Black appeared in the Peter Capaldi episode Sleep No More as the clone grunt named 474. The comedian is also the first openly transgender actor to appear on the show. Well, now 474 and current companion Graham have met. No, this isn't some sort of fan fiction.
Oh, no.
Bethany Black appeared on the UK version of The Chase.
What, really?
Yes, which is hosted by Bradley Walsh.
Yeah.
The show appears on ITV, so no mention was made of Doctor Who, the TV show that they both appeared on. Beth went up against the chaser nicknamed The Beast, who was also on the Australian show. She answered a number of questions by Walsh before being given an option to go for the safe option of £6,000, the easy option of negative £1,000, or the difficult option of £43,000.
Oh.
Beth went for the difficult option, which only gave her a cushion of one wrong answer before the chaser would catch up to her. She didn't need it as Beth got all answers correct, while the Beast got 2 answers wrong.
Really? There you go.
Being on Doctor Who makes you smarter, obviously.
It does. It does. I have actually watched Sale of the Century or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they've had questions, and I only know the answer because I grew up watching Doctor Who. So there you go.
There's a lot of information that I only know because it was on The Simpsons.
So. Oh my God.
In the end, the final team went up against the chaser, risking £50,000, meaning that the other 2 successful team members only contributed £7,000.
Oh, good. I hope they had a fight in the back to find out who got all the money.
Well, they didn't get any money because the Beast was unfortunately able to push through and secure a victory, leaving the team with nothing. Also, this year has seen the loss of comics legend Stan Lee.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he made cameos in all of the movies.
Yeah, every single movie.
I know.
Yeah, he already filmed his cameo for Avengers 4 and I think the Spider-Man sequel as well.
And I think the beauty there as well is that they can keep including him. From CGI over in a picture of him. So that's
yeah, exactly. And in 50 years' time, people will be asking, how come my granddad gets really happy when he sees this picture of this old man in his movies? At the time of the first screening of Doctor Who in 1963, most of the iconic characters that Stan helped create had already appeared in print, including Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men.
Fantastic Four didn't really work, did they? Film-wise?
No, well, those movies, Marvel sold those characters off before they started making their own movies. Connecting Stan Lee to Doctor Who, the UK arm of Marvel published the first episodes of the Doctor Who magazine until it was sold to Panini Publishing in 1995.
I didn't know that.
And between 1979 and 1999, Marvel had the rights to publish comic books featuring the Doctor. Therefore, at least some of the incarnations of the Doctor can be considered Marvel characters, with the Whoniverse being given the Marvel designation Earth 5556.
Well, there you go.
Would we like to see the Doctor team up with Spider-Man?
No, never.
No?
No. The Doctor doesn't. The Doctor is flawed and fun and...
Well, Stan Lee did make flawed characters.
Yeah, I know, but she doesn't have a superpower. She's just super clever.
Yeah.
And, no, she needs to be in her own universe. I don't want
I could see Jodie Whittaker and Tony Stark having a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Like two geniuses.
Yeah, true.
That would that would be great.
Give the Doctor a chance in the Iron Man suit. That would be amazing.
Oh, she'd improve it. That's the thing. She could make so many adjustments.
She'd have sonic screwdrivers on every hand. Like, oh my God. We've just come up with a fantastic idea.
Right, well, somebody's going to steal that one.
Yes. Our episode today is The Witchfinders, Season 11, Episode 8. Written by playwright Joy Wilkinson and directed by Sally Abrahamian, who also directed Arachnids in the UK.
Yeah, I loved the script. 3 cheers for Joy.
Yeah.
It was good.
Joy also writes next week's episode, It Takes You Away.
Which I've heard amazing things about.
Very interesting pictures online.
Yeah, the log cabin or the cabin.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited.
So am I. This is only the second time that an episode has been both written and directed by a woman after 1983's Enlightenment.
Oh.
That's a long time between drinks.
Yeah, it is. Too long.
Originally aired on the BBC on Sunday, November 25th, 2018. Now, before we start, I just have to ask, is anyone here a witch?
Yeah, why? Is that a problem? Should I have mentioned... I'm a woman... So obviously, I'm a witch.
Yeah, how did you get in? You've been snooping.
Yeah, I have. I was gossiping.
The definition for witch back then obviously was pretty low.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
You don't look sickly.
Yes,
that's the devil's work.
Yeah.
That is.
You're poor, but you don't have any blemishes on you, so therefore you're a witch.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Or if you just liked my property and you wanted it, you'd just tell everyone I was a witch, and then they'd kill me, and then you'd get my house.
There you go.
Yeah.
You wouldn't marry my ugly son, so you must be a witch.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real estate plan, really. I mean, Trump would have loved it, wouldn't he? Right?
Ooh, back with the political
I'm
stuff.
political again.
And let us begin how we always begin. I will still be with you.
In the water.
In the fire.
In the earth.
In the air.
All right, so we start with the Doctor trying to get to the coronation of Elizabeth I.
Yeah, I wonder why she was married to Elizabeth.
Yeah, she never mentions that when...
as a man.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, guys, I was married to Elizabeth
Is that
I.
right?
Yeah.
The Doctor was married to... Wow, there you go.
Yeah. And then Elizabeth I actually hated him later on because...
he nicked off.
He nicked off, yeah. Jodie Whittaker doesn't mention, let's go see the coronation of Elizabeth I. You know what? I was married to her.
Yeah.
I feel like relationships back then would have been a lot different, though. So, people apparently Queen Elizabeth only had a bath once a month.
Yeah.
Like, whoever you're married to, you wouldn't want to be around them. Like, it just would have been like, it's like, this is transactional, this thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would have been like, oh, good, he's been going for a year. Nice.
Yeah, I think
gross.
it was...
But at that point, it would have been like, oh, she has a bath once a month? She must be rich.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like, oh, fancy.
Water?
But it was also very political, and women were just pawns, I mean, King James, who we meet in this, his wife was 14 when she got chuffed over to marry him. So, woohoo, 14. So you're going off to
Had
marry.
to go pick her up.
Yeah, he had to go pick her up because she got washed away.
Wasn't the average age, like people died around like 35?
Yeah.
So it's like 14 is like middle age.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I got this old biddy over here. She's 15. No one will have her.
And obviously with like a diet that completely lacks any sort of nutrients. About 14-year-olds looked like 60-year-olds back then. It's like, my teeth are falling out.
And if you were rich, all you ate was meat. You didn't eat vegetables. So,
Although in this episode, everyone looks real good.
They do look good.
No
but
one
we've
looks
got
sickly.
more extras than I've seen in ages.
Yes.
So we might have had a bigger budget for this one.
Well, I mean, they do mention 35 people died, and then when we get to the people who have risen from the dead, there's like 6.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's true. They are still a bit light on
we shot
extras.
high, but then we couldn't hire enough extras. So
Yeah. Some of them didn't want to get up. I'm dead. I'm tired.
exactly, they're
You
like,
know.
you guys go raise the king.
Yeah,
We'll come
yeah,
back later.
Yeah, come get me when it's done. I'm busy.
So the TARDIS is being a bit stubborn about exact dates, and it's about 50 years off. Same gripe that I've had with a lot of episodes this season. The Doctor just happens to be there.
Adam. We have had this conversation.
I like the episodes where the TARDIS either knows and it forces them there, but it just seems like the Doctor rocks up, she's there, and then something happens. You know, it's coincidence.
The TARDIS, she said, the TARDIS is being stubborn to control because the TARDIS knows best.
Oh, you think the TARDIS
The
brought her
TARDIS
there.
knew.
Okay, all right.
that they
I'll
had
accept
to
that
pick
for this
their own.
episode.
You will accept that forever. The commander said so.
But you have to accept that some previous episodes have just been coincidences.
Oh, God, the nerd
Where's
is
a really
back.
good robot voice?
Yeah.
That's my robot nerd voice.
That's his nerd voice.
Yes, a nerd would want to be a robot, so.
Because then you don't have to talk to people. And Adam's already told us in podcasts before that he grew up around human beings.
That's right, yeah.
What?
yeah.
He did,
I know.
yeah.
Didn't we
Raised
say
by
that?
humans.
Yes, I know.
The boy was raised by humans. See him for a nickel.
I like maths.
Yeah, I still find it hard to believe he was raised by them. But anyway.
Thanks. I was raised by a podcasting group.
Oh, no.
We go bobbing for apples.
Oh, I love that she's so excited
Yes.
about that. Ooh, I love
Is it Halloween?
Yeah, it was really
that
good.
I found quite funny because you got this Doctor Who's seen some of the most incredible things that a living entity can see. Oh my God, apples in a barrel! And the first thing I thought of was like, can you imagine the disease that's in that water?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought the exact same thing. I was like, are
Scooch
those
is a
apple
doctor.
clean?
It did not even occur to me.
You're the health and safety person.
I
That's what
am.
we should be looking
I am.
out for.
I had no thing. Cholera, probably, yeah.
But the doctor's really good at it. She just gets that apple straight away.
And then they have a whole conversation while she's got an apple hanging out of her mouth.
Yeah.
I love that they've kept that childlike wonderment.
Yeah.
And I know on the internet a lot of people have gone, she's too childish. But I think it's
No,
great.
it's great.
I think it
Fantastic.
works.
But I like it how, especially with and I can't compare it to previous Doctors not following the series. She got that childlike wonder and excitement, which you would be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be excited about traveling back in time.
Absolutely.
And so, but she backs it up with having that brilliant brain. So it's a
Yeah.
nice characteristic.
Yeah.
It's not like she's just bobbing around going, "Oh, everything's amazing." She's like, no, she knows how it all works.
Yeah,
Like,
what doctor are they comparing her to? Because David Tennant was excited about everything. Matt Smith was excited about most things.
Look, I think this is the ones who just don't want a woman as the doctor.
Women can't be excitable. First we go bobbing for apples and then bobbing for witches.
I love the way she says now, do not interfere with the fabric of history.
Yes.
And then she interferes and jumps in the water and does the Australian crawl, I would like everyone to notice. She does the Aussie swim, the Aussie crawl.
how is she
right.
moving that fast through water?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
She's at the Australian crawl.
She must be a fish.
It was great. I loved the way she did that. Just jumped in and
Yeah. Tried to rescue the Nan.
Yeah.
Doesn't she have two hearts?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, bam, that's something I know for some reason.
Oh, wow.
there
See,
you go.
you just, from that one episode, you've just had it seep into your mind.
You are now a Whovian.
God, what else am I going to remember today?
Oh, no.
You
oh,
will
no.
be surprised.
You're going to secretly be like, oh, my God, I've actually been watching the episodes in my sleep.
Well, why does she have two hearts?
Because
Like,
she's an alien.
Time Lord. All Time Lords have two hearts.
Yeah.
but is there they got more blood that is pumping? What's the
No,
background?
it's never been explained.
I mean, why do you only have one heart? I mean, what's wrong with you? Why don't you get another one?
Why do they regenerate? You know,
Yeah, true. These are all questions.
these are all questions.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
These are all questions.
Yeah, we went up at the end, so they are all questions.
And that's how you know.
I find it interesting that Becca Savage, when the doctor drags the nanny out of the water, goes, now we can't be certain if she's a witch or not. She's dead.
Yeah.
Wasn't the prerequisite if she's dead, she's not a witch. If she is alive, she is a witch?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's just, yeah.
how do you win?
Yeah.
You either drown or you get hung.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like that's with those witch from actual history. It's just like the logic is just like, what the, like, oh, we're going to burn them at the stake. If they burn, not a witch.
Yeah.
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 It's like you can't come back from that. Why don't you just, like, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
At all.
Has
And what
there
do
ever-
they do if they burn you at the stake and you do come out because you are a witch? They can't burn you again.
Yeah.
What?
Then they just hang you, I
If
think.
someone is actually a witch, aren't they just going to like fly away or get out of it? Or
Has there ever been a burning at the stake where the woman's burning and goes, "Yay, I'm burning. It proves that I'm not a witch." Ah!
woohoo, you can put it out there.
Why not just like burn like a toe? Like just hold a flame to a toe. It's like, oh yeah, it's burning. She's not a witch.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, that hurts and I'm still alive. Though.
That's not very violent, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to kill. I mean, what if you do that and then Satan comes out of her ear? I mean,
Yeah.
and women.
Or she's a witch and she makes her toe burn because she's a witch.
Yeah, and look, just let me say, we started this all with the apple, and we should be just blamed for everything.
And we start this episode with an apple.
Oh, we do. There you go.
It's a biblical story.
Adam could have said, "Oh no, we're not allowed to eat the apple," but he went, "Oh, okay, a woman said to eat it." Like that's bullshit. Just calling it out.
Don't you understand that women will always turn us away from God?
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. How do we do that?
Because you're all witches.
Yeah.
God, we're powerful. I love it.
Well, now that we've all convinced ourselves that women are witches, the witch testing is done using a ducking stool, which sounds like what my autocorrect changes my text to when I'm angry at furniture. That ducking stool is made from the mightiest tree in Pendle Hill.
I love the ducking stool. You could not get out of that being chained
No.
there, could you? I thought it was about floating. If you could float, you were a witch. Or is that a Monty Python thing that I've got stuck in my head?
If you're made out of wood,
somewhere?
you're a duck.
But the guy in the weird mask, did you think he was with the black
Yes.
mask on it? Did
The
you think
plague
that was
mask,
the
yeah.
baddie coming?
Yep.
Did you think
Yeah,
an
but-
alien?
But those plague masks, it was sort of a weird, almost like it wasn't like the traditional plague mask.
No, it was an actual
But
mask.
that's what I'm
yeah.
thinking. Like,
It was an actor's mask,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
And I was thinking like that's someone who is not of goodwill.
And this is someone who's here to, make it all,
Yeah.
get really
And the
bad.
episode is framed as a mystery. So we have a vicious landowner leading the witch trials, an old woman accused of witchcraft, her granddaughter Willa, and a sinister man skulking around in a black plague mask.
And Graham, who's been on the witch walks, who said this.
He's never heard of them.
Never heard of them. So
we kind of suspect that, with Doctor Who, there have been witches before. So we kind of suspect that someone's going to be a witch.
Yeah.
Who did you guys have any ideas at that point who it was going to be?
I actually thought it was the woman who was burning them all.
Yeah.
Or drowning them all.
You thought straight away.
Oh, yeah, hard-faced bitch. Picked her straight away.
I thought for sure either the Nan or the Willow were going to turn out to be witches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but good witches. Like I don't know.
No, I thought she was, I knew she was a bitch, and I pretty much thought she was probably a witch as well.
Okay. Wow.
She had that really sour face.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Well
I get
done
that.
by the actress.
Yes.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
She was. But I like the way that the Doctor interferes, but really, Yaz pushes her to do it.
Yeah.
And I love the way Graham, or is it Ryan, goes, well, so much for interfering.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
interfering. Yeah. The men just sort of stand there passively watching this woman.
So the Doctor now does what Yaz wants, because in Demons of the Punjab, she wouldn't let her change the future.
Yeah.
Although changing the future would have resulted in no
no
Yaz.
Yaz.
So
Exactly.
this is no result. Who knows what they might have changed?
I always have this thing like in Rosa, in the middle of the civil rights movement, they send Ryan off to wander around by himself to get lynched. And then they send Yaz off, a woman alone, to talk to someone who they think is a witch.
Yeah.
And they don't think, what, someone's going to think Yaz is a witch?
Yeah.
And they go, oh, yeah, bye.
And later on, they leave the Doctor by herself.
Yeah.
While they go investigate.
Yeah.
I thought Yaz was still with her, but watching it a second time, no, all three of them wander off and leave the Doctor to get captured.
Unfortunately, you kind of had to have a man with you for someone to go,
true.
no, she's not a witch. If you didn't have a man with you, you were a witch.
And the Doctor pulls out her psychic paper. She's the Witchfinder General.
Yeah. Sounds
What a title.
good. And they did have Witchfinder generals, didn't they, in those days?
You're looking at me like I know the answer to that.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
assuming so.
You're
like
the
a
historian.
general-
We invited you on because you're a historian. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
And
Have we
that's-
mixed you up with somebody else?
And you're a witchfinder. Yeah.
that's what-
Witches,
Look at-
am I right?
How much of an easy job would that have been, though? I'm the Witchfinder General, and whoever's like calling the shots, like King or Queen's like, you need to find witches. It's like, well, I can just make that up.
Yeah.
I can just
Yeah,
use
someone
anyone.
gives you a bit of coin. You go, oh yeah, that woman's a witch.
Yeah.
Like, bam, doing the job.
Yeah.
You go, oh, God, I hate the woman down the end of the street. Witch. Gone. Oh, now I own her block.
And then enters this week's special guest, Alan Cumming as King James the First.
Yes.
Love it.
Come on, were you surprised that it was Alan Cumming? Because you wouldn't have known that, would you?
Didn't look at who was going to be in the episode then.
Yeah.
So when he walked in, took off the mask, I'm like, oh, this is going to get so
Yeah.
much. This is going to be so much fun.
Oh, it was so good. He is chewing the scenery.
Oh,
he
he's
is
wonderful.
Yep.
Oh, so
And-
good.
and-
with that accent, James.
Yeah.
Yes, well, let's point out that King James was King James I of England, also King James VI of Scotland, because he was Scottish.
Yeah.
But there's no Scottish accent. But I'll forgive them that.
It fell off.
Yeah.
It happens. He's quoted in history as being the wisest fool in Christendom. And he plays that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like there's something stupid and silly and foolish. And then when he has that debate later with the doctor, you see a lot more of, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's more depth to the character later on in the
Guy
episode.
Fawkes and all those guys did try to blow him up.
Yeah, exactly,
And,
yeah.
his mother was beheaded by Elizabeth and...
It's all par for the course back then.
and his mother's lover killed his father, Yeah.
Yeah.
he's not a shit
Just a
guy.
typical family
Oh,
sort of.
Yeah, and Ryan and King James have that bit where he's like, yeah, I got problems too. And King James sits it up. He's like, okay, you win.
Yeah. And I also love the way that he'd always have this devotion. Oh, such and such, and he was devoted to me, and then he betrayed me, and I
Yes.
shot him.
Yes.
I just love.
I could watch an entire show of Alan Cumming just taking getting his own TARDIS and going around and throughout time and space.
He was so. He would have made a great doctor a few years ago. But anyway, I thought
so
he was,
much fun.
I thought he was fabulous, and then he's just so condescending to the doctor.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Even the wee lassie.
Yeah, she gets demoted down to Witchfinders assistant.
And Graham's obviously.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the psychic paper is it shows whatever the viewer sees.
Yeah, exactly. So I really, really liked that. And then Graham gets the hat.
See, when I was watching the show, I wasn't aware of the psychic paper.
Right.
Is it psychic paper? Is
Yeah,
it?
psychic paper.
Yeah, because she holds up this blank thing. I'm going, was that a mistake? Did they
Oh,
not CGI
that's interesting.
on- I'm like, that's a... But then I had to look it up, and I was like, "That's really clever."
Yeah.
And so, is that how it works? Is she projecting what she wants them to see, or
The
do they
paper
see...
projects onto the paper finds what someone in authority that they would listen to, and then puts it onto the paper. So obviously the paper realized that King James wouldn't listen to a woman, so it made her the assistant.
Yes,
Oh,
I
that's
like
really
Graham.
interesting.
It's a very flat structure.
Yeah, flat team structure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I just love that. Even the lassie, because women are only good. What is it? Noisiness and gossip.
Snooping and gossiping.
Snooping and gossip.
And then
Snooping
Graham
and
says
gossiping.
later, well, you are kind of proving him right by snooping.
And what about he's in love with Ryan? Like,
Oh, that was
My Nubian
Nubian
prince. If King James, played by Alan Cumming, had his own show, he would need Ryan as his
it was
assistant.
so funny. And then when they're coming up with a plan and the doctor's talking and he goes, this is no time for the weak. You know? And she's not, as a man anyway, never had to put up with this. She's got that great line. She says, something about being a woman.
Yeah.
If they're not drowning you, they're patronising you to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we see a lot of that sexism that we were wondering if that was going to come in to the episodes, and here it is. You're right. This period of history, women were not considered.
Well, it was...
Even though we had queens.
I shall
and stuff.
say now, we never get patronised. It's fantastic now. It's a great...
Well, it was... Imagine in history, like there was... Like it up until about 2015, 16, anything before then, horrendous being.
Yeah. And they had female queens, but it was kind of like, okay, well, we can't prove a man is next in line ahead of you, so fine, you can be queen until you die.
Yeah, but we're not happy, even though every time we have a queen, we have a lot of peace, but still, it's still rubbish.
Yeah.
I love watching time travel going back because I would love to do it because how arrogant could you be? You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know so much about how the universe works. And like if you had access to some sort of technology just to freak people out, oh my God.
But you'd be considered a witch.
And that's the thing, like as a guy, Adam, like you and I could go back in time any period and just be like, this is so good. Everyone's so nice. Like Nicchia, you do it, it's like, excuse me, no, you're not allowed in here. It's like, no, I just want to check out this amazing building because it gets destroyed in a few hundred years.
No, we don't have women in here.
like-
Well, that's why the doctor's so good at getting out of ropes and chains because she knows anywhere she goes, they're going to be like, well, she's a woman, lock her up.
And she spent a wet weekend with Houdini.
Let's try not to think too much about what that involves. But anyway.
But, if I went to the Colosseum, I'd have to sit right up the very bloody back. because I was a woman, I have to sit with the slaves. Sucks.
Yaz goes to help Willa, and Willa is attacked by a mud tendril.
Now she gets attacked by, and I thought Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. So yeah, this is the earliest you've been out of bed on a Saturday, right?
For this episode. We are recording at 4:00 in the morning. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we had to do that, but yeah, sure.
He came in his pajamas.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was.
We told you 4:00. We turned up at 10, but we told you 4.
No, I've got this weird habit now. It's like I may have partied last night, but like I got home sort of around, probably when I texted you guys and said like, oh my God, Alan Cumming's in there, oh my God. And then you guys didn't reply.
We had a gig together.
Comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you guys perform?
Well, I stripped.
And I just did my Alan Cumming impression.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, no, I did remember when I used to
Where
work
are my
at the Pink Pussycat?
Nubian princes?
You know who does speak like that in real life?
Who?
The guy who created Dyson vacuum cleaners.
Oh, really?
Have you heard him
No.
speak? Oh, he's fantastic. Yes. And lovely guy, but like first time you hear him, you're like, wow, that guy sounds arrogant. But no, I noticed making the vacuum cleaners was
yes, I'm pretty sure
Nubian vacuum
the
cleaner.
head of BP, Lord Brown, I believe he spoke a lot like that.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we don't want to kill anybody. Just pollute everything. But he
Just
wasn't
that,
around then. But yes.
It's like, we shall send you Australians to Gallipoli. It's going to be fun.
You little colonials.
We were saying that it sounds a bit like Tim Curry in
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror. Yeah.
Yep.
So Alan Cumming and Tim Curry in a Doctor Who episode.
That would
my
be-
goodness.
That'd be a lot of sass.
We could do a reboot of the 5 Doctors and have Jodie Whittaker, Alan Cumming, Tim Curry, the guy who runs Dyson, and the guy from BP.
Yeah. I like the she's snooping through the room.
Yeah,
And Graham makes the comment, to be fair to King
Yeah.
James, you are snooping.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm investigating. But the hankies.
Oh, yes.
When you saw that, what did you think?
I thought that was going to mean something, and then it
Did.
well, it kind of
I was
doesn't,
waiting
though.
towards.
Yes, it did. Obviously leaking
Yeah, I suppose. but
alien mud.
Yeah.
Really? I liked it.
I don't know. It's just like, she was just mopping up her wound.
Yeah.
You know?
Why did she get slowly filled? I
Yeah.
didn't quite understand that.
Because she was fighting it. She was fighting the
Oh.
Infection, yeah.
What I made the mistake of, play a drinking game, take a shot every time somebody says Satan.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
How are you still alive?
3 bottles in, and I'm like, it's only been 5 minutes into the show.
Jesus, I think they say the word Satan 3 times when they're just talking about the horses.
They're the best of Satan. They are. I work with an Irish woman who
Who narrated this episode for you?
no, but everything. She's like, that's the work of the devil. That is. Oh my.
Look, a lot of Satan. I was a bit surprised when the doctor said she doesn't believe in Satan because she did meet him at the Satan's pit
Yep.
as a man.
Well, she's met aliens that identify as Satan.
Well,
you know.
that one looked like Satan.
So Doctor met Satan in the previous episode.
Certainly a creature that could well have
alien analogies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like you are the Satan of the biblical.
He kind of was. Yeah.
That's interesting because that puts a perspective on that episode then if Doctor's kind of aware that maybe there
Evil.
are witches. Maybe there are. Is it in that universe?
Well, that's why
Doctor
she
Who-
scans Willa and she goes, there's no magic, there's no alien
Yeah.
technology.
Oh, there we go.
So
Yeah.
she's constantly thinking, sure, you may be calling them Satan and witches, but it's probably just going to be an alien technology that you don't understand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what
yeah.
she's constantly got ticking around in her
Yeah.
head.
Did you think the Sonic was overused this time?
No.
No, I thought the Sonic wasn't overused. And
No,
I thought
it was good.
everyone had something to do, even though, none of the characters. You saw a little bit more of Yaz, I thought, because you hear about her being bullied at school.
Oh,
so
yes, yep.
Learned
But other than that, she was hardly in the episode.
Well, I did notice.
She followed everyone around.
I don't know. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Graham and Ryan suck at stalling people,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have 2 suggestions. They both
Yeah.
get knocked down. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I guess we're going through the forest
I
then.
know. Oh, I'm sure you've got more interesting body parts.
I love Graham's like, body parts?
Yeah, I know.
Are you serious?
I know.
Becca, the landowner who has been conducting the trials, is actually Willa's cousin and was raised by. the
Yes,
man.
but she got all uppity when she married up.
Yes. The landowner was like, you don't look as half bad as the rest of the
Yeah.
people. You come live with me.
You got your teeth,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Ooh, hello.
That hasn't
someone-
changed, has
Yeah.
it?
No.
Nah.
Yeah. We're still teethist like that.
Yeah,
Where people
we
have
are.
to have teeth to get married to them. And so Willa offers them grand special tea. And that's
Yeah.
a little bit of a tense moment. We don't actually see them drink the tea either.
Yeah, and I didn't get that. Why was that a tense moment? She's not a witch. She's obviously not a witch.
Well, the episode is trying to make it out to be like somebody's a witch. So they're trying to put the blame on her. And she has been accused of being a witch.
Yeah, no, I never thought it was her.
At that point, I was like, ooh, maybe.
But I did like King James says to the doctor, why does the lassie speak of commerce?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I can't buy that. And I have to say that one of the funniest parts of this, other than Alan Cumming's accent, is watching Graham waddle after Becca when they're walking through. He's got this real like waddle to him. He's got the hat on. He's got his coat on, and he's just like.
Well, apparently it had just been raining, and it was so muddy.
Wow!
And they just had to suck it up and
how many costumes would they have to have every time someone slips over?
Apparently it was so hard to get through with the mud and stuff. So I like the bit where the doctor says, "Oh God, give us a clue," and the dead rise, and she goes, "Oh, I like that."
Yeah.
Although the doctor scans the mud at the gravesite, it says it's just normal mud.
Yeah.
But then she gets a sample of it and it's jumping around.
So maybe when it's all together it is, and when you pull it
But then she
apart-
says later that the mud's got alien DNA in it. So how did the Sonic not pick up that?
The Sonic can't do everything.
Okay,
It doesn't
right.
do wood. It doesn't do cloth.
It doesn't do mud.
We've worked this out.
The one time when the Sonic should have actually scanned something properly, and it doesn't do that.
Oh, come on. Isn't it nice that every now and then the Sonic doesn't know everything?
Is it because maybe she has to download the latest iOS software or something like that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And
She scans something and she's like, God damn it, another YouTube album?
I didn't ask for this.
And what did we think of the mud zombies?
They were great. As far as zombies goes, they were scary.
Yeah.
I was like, that isn't scary, those black eyes. And I thought the makeup was fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought they were really good, and the bubbling when they put their hand out.
Yeah, that was great.
When I first saw that, I thought it was maggots crawling.
Oh.
And it was disgusting. It was creepy. Don't let them touch you.
I thought they were really good. On the some of the reviews I read, they went, they weren't even chasing Yaz and Graham and Ryan. Of course they weren't.
Yeah.
They were on a mission to get Becca and to release the king.
But why do they go and get the axe?
So that they can use the axe to cut down that bit of the tree. That's what she does.
Right. So they're going to pick up the axe. They're
Yep.
like, wait, we need to make sure we have the axe when we go to see Becca.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the reveal won't mean anything.
And then Becca becomes the queen.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought it was strange because they get the axe and it's very foreshadowing, foreboding.
Well, sometimes you've got to. Do you want to double handle things? You don't want to have to go there.
There's 6 of
then
them.
back, then
3 of
back.
us go get the axe. 3 of us go contact Becca and be like, let's do this.
Oh, we're not
And
scary in threes.
And I don't want to be that guy, but wow, that was a modern Bunnings Warehouse
Yeah.
axe
Yeah.
that they had. It was just
Yeah,
this
yeah.
brand shiny, like wax coated. It's like, no, that thing needs to be rusty.
They put a
Yeah.
little bit of rust on it to make it look, but no,
Yeah.
it was like, you can pick that up from Bunnings.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was made at Bunnings in China, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the look of it.
Brought over by the mud zombies.
Yeah, we don't know how long they've been here, and maybe that was their weapon of choice before they were, imprisoned in mud.
And then King James turns up with the mud zombies
Oh,
and requests
yeah.
Alfonso to shoot the mud bodies. But Alfonso is killed with a sonic boom.
And nobody else is.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Alfonso.
Yeah, I think Alfonso probably wasn't his best soldier.
He says Alfonso has been very loyal to me, but he will.
And you had let me down.
Yeah, you would let
eventually.
me down by being killed by the alien creatures.
I like it's very Jack Robertson. I've lost my Kevin. I love the way the doctor says, if I was still a bloke, I'd just get on with the job
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not have to keep explaining myself. It's a poignant moment when you see Willa doesn't want to fold, but the
Yes.
fear of being hung as a witch, because once someone's accused you, that's it.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
Becca has that great line where she goes, Willa, who do you trust to protect you?
Yeah.
This woman you've just met or your king and your landowner?
Yeah, that was a great line.
Yeah.
It
very
was.
powerful,
And
yeah.
you could see that she wanted to, and then you just, you would fold. Someone would say, so, your friend Janice, we think she's a witch. What do you
Yeah.
think? Because if she is, you're
Yeah.
probably, no,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
a witch,
yeah.
she's a witch.
Willa doesn't straight out come out and say, "Oh yeah, she's a witch." She
No,
goes,
no.
I think it's a little bit weird, and the king
Yeah.
and Becca infer from that. Yes, he's given us the proof we need.
Yeah, I know.
And then that's where it would have gone from. Willa told us she's a witch.
Yeah, look, you cannot leave a woman alone in 17th century
No.
England. That's it. No woman to be left alone. When Becca says at the beginning, it's hard being a woman, she were not kidding.
Yeah, well, it's hard to be a woman under Becca because she's just kill everybody who is up against her.
It's also bloody hard being a horse because they're just shooting them. So.
Good. Oh well, I can't wait for the next incarnation of the Doctor when it's a horse.
Going back to
So PC.
it's hard being a horse.
And I also like when the doctor says to King James, well, you know how to tie a knot in this part of the country.
If I was a witch, do you think this rope would be able to hold me? Although it is a lot of rope.
Yeah.
And King James gives an impassioned speech about wanting to know the secrets of the universe.
Yes. And I really like that exchange. That was, I mean, he's all silly and, he's a bit of a fool, but she's getting to him.
Yeah.
And you see that everything he's doing is through fear. And everything Becca's doing is through fear. Mm-hmm. And Willa's just through fear throwing the doctor under this. So it's a lot of that human prejudice, just not at the Rosa, different sort of prejudice. And I thought that was, I don't know, that was really good. And I like the way she says, start with the mysteries of the heart.
Yes.
I thought that was she's a doctor about love and hope.
Yeah, and we see that again in this episode.
I love it.
Yeah, love and hope.
But it also wasn't fixing the problem. You were still getting droughts and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the thing as well, like, especially like that position. And I suppose like the episode didn't go into it too much, but also you kind of empathize with if that's what they thought was happening.
Yeah.
If the genuine consensus was, because obviously we know now there's, it's not witches that are making crops, it's mold, whatever. Yeah. It's an environmental thing.
It's just women.
Yeah, apparently burning Satan's minions isn't a great irrigation system. So.
No, actually.
But surely after like decades of like someone's lifespan going, you know what, the crops keep on failing, then we burn witches. It still happens? Maybe. There's something else going on here.
I'm surprised there's any of us left, really.
Someone realised, if we keep burning women, we're just going to be us dudes.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say was around this same time, the other thing that they had was called a scold's bridle.
A scold's bridle.
If your wife was a little mouthy.
Oh, God. This has already started off fantastic.
Or naggy. Or a gossip. So you would put this, it was made of metal. You'd put it on her head.
Oh, God.
It had a bit on it, like a bridle.
Oh, my God.
That went across the mouth. And then there was a thing that went down and made the tongue flat so you couldn't talk.
I've seen pictures of this. Yeah.
They sometimes could put a spike in it. So if you tried to talk.
Oh, that's horrific. Oh, my God.
No, and then the man would, your husband, who loves you desperately, would put a leash on you and you would be led through the street so that other men could spit at you and stuff because you were being humiliated because you had back-chatted to your husband. And this was just commonplace.
That's
and if you saw,
horrendous.
if Andrew ever got a woman, no.
It'll happen one day, guys.
Yeah.
And he was leading her through the streets, you would come out, yeah, that's right, on you, Andrew.
And then all it would take would be another woman be like, that seems a bit cruel. Oh, get her in a shoulder's bridle.
That's right. So all the other women would go, what a great idea.
Imagine living with that fear, like your husband is this depraved.
Yeah, well, there's still women who do.
Just your average, snag back in the day.
Yeah.
I know, it would be so commonplace, I mean, rule of thumb was because you couldn't hit your wife with anything wider than your thumb. That's where that came from.
I think that was like in like British common law until recently.
Yeah. I think in British common law until recently you could kill a Scotsman who walked into your house. I know, weird, isn't it?
Although King James is Scottish and he walked into Becca's house, so she could have killed him.
It's like 17th century. I'll stand in my ground.
Yeah.
Don't take away my axe rights.
I just put a scold's bridle on her. You should see it.
There's speculation that King James was bisexual.
I mean, he had 3 kids and he got married, but that was your duty. He did prefer the company of men.
And there's letters where he talks about one of his male companions as his wife.
Maybe he was just super progressive,
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Maybe he's really in touch with his feminine side.
The doctor is ducked.
Yes.
Yeah, she's completely ducked.
Yeah, it takes the rest of them to work out that something's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, did they not at any point think...
Yeah, leave someone to make sure that the doctor's okay?
Yeah,
no, they all leave the doctor.
Anyway.
That means it's 24 hours. In 24 hours, she's been wet twice.
Yeah, she has.
Completely saturated.
And I like that she's out when it comes back up.
Yeah.
And you can see King James, he wants Becca to bring it up.
Yeah.
And Becca's not going to because Becca's the bloody witch and she doesn't want people to know that. And so when they finally bring it up and she's gone and they're like, where where is she? Where is she? And you just knew she'd escaped, didn't you?
No, I thought the doctor was dead, and the whole episode was ended. Yeah, that's the end of the show.
We've had a few of those. You've got to stop taking it so seriously, Adam.
So Becca's spent all this time. She's killed 36 people to hide her secret. But as soon as the doctor goes, all right, tell me, she's like, all right, let me tell me my story.
Well, but then mud was leaking out of her. I think as they were rising up, it was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. My biggest problem was, so she just got a little stab, right?
Yeah.
And then she fills up and she's the queen.
Yeah.
But what a production to bring the bloody king back.
Yes.
You know, I mean, someone could have just got James, give him that little jab and that'd be
They could have done it already. By the time that the doctor does pass out, they could have done it already.
Yeah.
But they have to, because it's a man. You have to have a big song and dance for a man.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Here comes the queen, everyone look away. Here comes the king. Woo.
I like the fact that the Morax have been kept in Pendle Hill. It's been kept under lock and key, and the key is a tree.
Yeah.
Good thing to store a key as a thing that constantly gets cut down.
But that you mentioned that it might have been there for billions of years.
Yeah, yeah.
So like maybe that's like our trees. Well, there won't be any creatures that will chop that down.
Well, I don't know how it's been there for billions of years when the universe is only 6,000 years old. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the big thing.
Oh, my God. And
It says it in the King James Bible.
King James should have responded back. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't been around that long.
That's right.
It's probably a pretty rubbish prison.
Why is Earth constantly the prison for different alien races? I feel like this is not the first time we've had that storyline
well, that's
before.
because we're such a pathetic planet. And
It's also because they like having stories set on Earth.
yeah.
makes the productions easier.
the budget
They don't have
is
to go to
so
another
much.
planet to film it.
If you just find something in Wales, you're
If
fine.
you had to go to another planet to film it.
Yeah, it's like
Filming on Mars is ridiculous.
No, it's filming on Venus, remember, because all your cameras go, the pressure.
flats, yes.
yeah, that's sulfuric acid rain.
Yeah.
The Mars rover just sent back pictures and, they weren't even in 4K.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Oh, unbelievable.
No.
Who
No,
do they
wouldn't
think
Production
they are?
values.
I like that the doctor gets the hat to
Yes,
be
Graham
the
passes it over to her. Yeah, I like the idea that Becca hasn't been killing people to give more bodies to the mud. She's been killing people because she thinks because she's doing God's work,
Yeah.
God will save her.
Yeah. Well,
That's an interesting thing.
haven't a lot of bad things happened when in the name of religion or God or,
Yeah, but when Becca was shown to be the bad guy, I thought she was going to say, I've been killing them so we can have more hosts.
Yeah.
But no,
it's
she's
kind of made
been
it
killing them
tragic.
as Becca.
I felt a little sorry for her because she was terrified.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you can forgive her like her reasoning for doing things. Like
Yeah.
it's like she's scared. She thinks the devil has infected her.
Yeah.
and so she's trying to do the.
I mean,
she
she seriously believes that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she thinks God wants you to kill people. She's going to kill every last one of them if she has to.
Probably could have scrutinized a bit harder as to who the witches were, but
They release the king who...
The giant mud monster
Yeah,
looks
of
like a
course,
claymation
he has to have
creature.
the biggest tentacle, doesn't he? Such a man thing, isn't it? Well, look, King James does love drama, so he certainly got a lot there at the end.
Yes.
And then Ryan saved him.
And then King James saves himself using Ryan's torch.
But he kills Becca and he didn't need to.
No.
Because the mud left all the other people. It would have left Becca.
Yeah.
But he couldn't help himself, could
No,
he?
he had to be in charge.
She said she was a witch. So
Yeah,
ugh.
I pricked her like I prick every woman
Yeah. With my pricker.
with my pricker.
Now, if you prick a woman and she bleeds, then she's not a witch, right?
Yes.
So wouldn't that just be easier than dunking them,
Yeah,
burning
exactly.
them,
a lot
hanging them?
easier.
I mean, a lot less admin as well, I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
He does say you have to prick them on their mark as well.
Yeah, what do they mean by that?
You just can't prick them anywhere. I think the idea is that a witch will have a mark of Satan on her somewhere.
What's that?
Wouldn't that just be that's okay? That's your first step
Yeah.
for witchery.
Yeah.
Finding is okay. No, she got no marks.
Yeah. But
Not a witch.
they would then probably argue, oh, she's hiding it through witchcraft.
You just can't win.
No. It's like trying to fight with someone on the internet.
Yeah,
You don't even bother.
King James is the original YouTube comment section.
yeah.
If you were going to have the mark or be a witch, wouldn't the first thing Satan did for you is go, we won't give you a mark and then they'll never know?
The Scooby Gang leave in the TARDIS, and King James promises to break up Bilehurst Crag and never speak of them again.
I love that the doctor's giving him the silent treatment. She's very cross with him. I mean, they say that she's not coming across as smart and powerful, but she's really doing it with the powerful words and the authority that I think she has. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
you haven't had a lot of Doctor Who, but you've seen male doctors, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think of her performance?
I thought she was fantastic. And I'm not
awesome.
saying that to be woke at all. I thought she had a lot of charisma. She's definitely doing the super smart thing, and she's in charge. Like, that's the sense I got from it. It's like, if I was in that situation, I'm like, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I would too.
You are the
She
person we
exudes
need to
power
follow.
without barking orders at people.
And I think that's what and the words that she uses, they're smart, but they're kind, understand your heart and understand.
Wow, I was really surprised with the online comments about this episode.
Yeah, look, some people are never going to accept a female Doctor Who.
From my understanding of it, there's nothing about that character that is male. Like, you couldn't have a female James Bond.
Why do we have to have a female James Bond? Why can't we just have a great female character who is herself and not pretending to be someone else?
And because I grew up with the greatest female on-screen character, in my opinion, sort of over the last few decades, Ellen Ripley in Alien.
Oh yeah.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Like, that, there's nothing in that. So I think when in terms of like putting a fictional strong woman character, like, there's everything in that. She gets the job done by herself. Like, there's no relying on anybody. She's the person everyone's relying on. And that's the sense that I got from watching this episode, is that people aren't pretending she's in charge. She is.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question of that.
Yeah.
And I think that comes across really close.
And she's got a sense of humour, so she's, she's smart, she's fun and
She
funny.
does that good manager thing of, when someone gives a good idea, she goes, that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
And when someone makes a mistake, she goes, that's all right.
Yeah.
Like in the first episode where she says, Ryan touched the thing, she goes, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
She's not like, oh my God, I can't believe you made such a stupid mistake.
Oh, you stupid humans. No wonder everyone's putting all of their aliens here on this pathetic planet.
Like me, basically. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, fantastic.
Kneel before the Morax, you feeble human, I think they say.
Now, did we notice Willa's decided she's going to be a doctor?
Yeah, I thought that was nice. That was very nice.
King James begs Ryan to return to London with him.
To protect him.
Yes.
I loved that.
I love Ryan's face where he's just like, I'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah. He was very foppish, wasn't he?
Eccentric.
Yeah.
Graham quotes Pulp Fiction.
That's great.
I loved that.
That was fantastic.
I loved that. That was really good.
Tarantino.
No, mate, Tarantino.
Yeah.
No,
There's
no.
a lot of quotes in this, because then the Doctor quotes Arthur C. Clarke.
Yes. You were there and you saw an aeroplane going across, you go, oh, that's
That's
witchcraft.
Yeah, witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
A car even.
Yeah.
Like, where's the horses?
Almost anything from modern age.
Yeah.
It's like, what are those things on your eyes that make you see better?
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
You have all your teeth.
Witchcraft.
And that's it for another episode. Now, as we like to do, we like to give our episodes a score from 1 to 5.
Look, I'm being really generous this season, but I've just loved the heck out of it. So it's another 5 from me.
Another 5.
It is
my
another
God.
5 because it's fun. Doctor Who.
That's the fourth 5.
Yeah, I know.
Fifth 5, sorry. 5 5s.
I've got to tell you, there's other seasons I've watched where I would not have had this many episodes that I've enjoyed in a season, but I loved it. The little problems, I can get over it. I had a great time. I had to watch it again to do our review. I actually watched it about 5 times. So there you go.
So would you place this as your favourite episode of the season, or?
Yeah, it is now.
Yep.
It is.
Okay,
It is.
fantastic.
And then it would be Kablam.
Yeah, well, you had Demons in the Punjab, then Kablam.
No. I like
You
the.
change it
I do.
every single time.
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
That's because it's witchcraft.
Okay, so we've got Witchfinders.
She's hysterical.
Kablam.
I need to get to a doctor. Sorry.
Demons in the Punjab after Kablam.
Yes.
Arachnids in the UK.
No, then Rosa, then Arachnids in the UK.
Rightio. Okay, I'll.
Yeah, remind me what it is because I'll change my mind
okay.
next week.
Fantastic.
Next episode might be even better.
Yes.
And I might
It's
have
written by the same
I
person.
might have to give it a 6.
Oh, we don't do 6.
Oh, yeah. No.
Not quite.
That's what you say.
Oh, you're giving away so many 5s. So I'm also going to give it a 5.
Woo!
Yes, I love this
That's
episode.
2.
This is actually my favorite episode of the whole
Really?
series. I think I'm going to go back and watch this episode again multiple
You gave
times.
Rosa a 5. Is this above it?
Yes. So for me, it's Witchfinders, Demons in the Punjab, and Rosa. Those are my 3 5s that I've given so far. It doesn't have the political weight of those other 2 episodes, but it has Alan Cumming. Like I said, I could watch that guy in his own show by himself in a room just with that. It was so good.
A 2-hour monologue I could just.
You can also say he was too good. He really did steal away from everyone. It's like, it'd be hard acting around that.
But the Doctor still got her moments.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
He didn't take from the Doctor.
No.
But yeah, if you were anyone else in there, like, the stuff, he had a good chemistry with Ryan.
Yep. Oh, so good.
And it really worked, that the flirting was gorgeous. I loved it. And it really worked.
And I have my issues with this episode. The ending was a little bit rushed. The monster's not all that scary. It's probably not going to come back, but everything I liked about this episode overrode everything that I didn't like. So.
As soon as the monster came out, I thought she really needs a lot of moisturizer, doesn't she? I mean,
and her scalp kept moving. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was creepy.
Andrew,
I'm going to give it a 4. I really, and that for me, that's God, how I go that for me is very generous, guys. That's I'm gonna.
So you're comparing it against that first episode you watched all those years ago?
Yeah, with the
one that
fluffy
scared
things.
me.
Yeah,
I need to go back and find that.
Yeah,
that because I think it's maybe that's what I need to get rid of. I need to face that fear.
Who was the doctor?
It was the one who, not the first one. I think it was the second one. The second person to play the Doctor, because it wasn't.
No, it wasn't in black and white.
No.
Well, then the second Doctor was in black and white. The third Doctor was a grey-haired guy, John Pertwee.
It was.
And he wore a velvety coat.
Yeah. That's another thing I noticed as well. Like the costume Doctor Who, like the scarf and the coat. So have they done away with that in sort of the new?
Every Doctor has their own.
Oh, okay. So it's
their own eccentric costume.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
For the New Year's special, the Doctor will be wearing a scarf again.
But not a Tom Baker scarf.
No, but it's multicolored.
It is multicolored, but
like a shirt.
It's not something you'd fall over every 5 seconds as you're walking around. So a 4. And,
I
it
really
loses
enjoyed
a
it.
mark for what?
What I thought it sort of lacked a bit was the sort of the way the story broke out. Like I kind of knew what was going to happen.
Oh yeah,
it's like the Doctor's going to be accused of witchcraft at some point.
Yeah,
but I liked how it played out though.
Yeah. All right, we all love this episode.
Now, Andrew, everybody who's a guest here has to tell us what their Time Lord name would be. If you were a Time Lord, it has to start with the, and then it has to epitomize who you are, your personality. The Doctor is there to fix and to heal. Adam's the nerd, there to pick things to pieces and drive you nuts. I'm the commander, just to tell you all to shut up when it's getting too much.
Well, that's interesting. I was thinking like what would make no sense to people in the past, and also probably no sense to people in the future, and something to reflect my personality and my enthusiasm.
Yeah, we'd probably just prefer your personality. I don't care what people in the past.
I'd go the lazy Susan.
The lazy Susan.
So I go back to like the Egypt, ancient Egypt. And like, are you going to get in muscles? I'm just going to stay at the B&B and just have a sleep in. I think, the lazy Susan.
What is this B&B of which you speak of?
I don't know. Just shut the door. I'm sleeping.
So you're the lazy Susan. Mm-hmm. There was the monk in Doctor Who was a character. The Minister of Chance was on the audios. He was actually a good character.
Susan.
Stephen Fry played him on the audios.
Really?
Wow.
They're really good. And the nerd and the commander. So then we get out of the TARDIS. They go, Doctor, Commander, nerd, lazy Susan.
It's like, is lazy Susan here again? You weren't much good to us last time. But I feel like I would come in handy each episode. Where it's like, because they'll all off be doing something and they'll be trapped. Like, what are we going to do? And I'll be like, come into like a sleep mask going, what are you guys up to?
Yeah.
Like, quick, get the key, ready to unlock us. They're going to eat us. Like,
I just be wandering around.
Do you guys want to go get a coffee?
He doesn't look much like a Susan, does he? No.
This is 2018.
Why does the big strapping man name himself after a woman? I don't understand.
So that's true. You would sleep through most of it, and then when we're all trapped, you would be the one
come rescue
us because you needed to get something off us so you could go back to bed.
I like the idea of like someone who saves the day, but just acting like it is something that they need to do in order to go back to relaxing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Is that the bad guy? Bam.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Just
and then the nerd,
ridiculous
the nerd
now.
would just be like, he just sleeps through everything.
And does it have like a hint of logic going, all right, guys, this TARDIS thing that we're doing, let's just go to some beach somewhere and hang out. Since we can't alter the past, maybe we can just view it from a distance and just enjoy ourselves.
Then we get to the beach and then it turns out there's an alien plot there.
Of course there is, yeah.
You just
imagine every time.
You imagine you being tortured, and he just comes in and goes, "Oh, you're screaming, woke me up."
Jeez, what have you done now?
Lazy Susan.
And there'd be one where I'd be the bird, and like I, for some reason, get trapped somewhere. I'm like, oh god, I've not made enough friends to.
But then we rescue you, and you're like, oh, I was actually having a very lovely sleep.
Yeah.
Did you guys have to rescue me?
I think the problem is that you go on 9,000 adventures, and somebody eventually goes, "So has anyone seen Susan?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you guys left me with the dinosaurs, you gooses.
Yeah.
I thought he was asleep.
Yeah, got married to this pterodactyl.
Just like an episode of Doctor Who.
Oh,
Married to a pterodactyl.
always happens.
The Dactians.
That's our episode for today. Andrew, do you have anything you'd like to plug for the new year?
For the new year, well, it's probably a while away. I'm doing a Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Oh, fantastic.
April 5th and 6th at Fad Gallery, which is in Melbourne.
And what's the name of the
Melbourne
show?
Comedy Festival. It's called Ambient Excuses.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, the show you did for...
It is the
Funny
so
Fest.
it's sort of the development of the one which you guys saw.
Yeah,
Pretty much the
August.
lazy Susan version.
Oh no, this is the hardworking, stressed out Andrew Dawson trying
really?
to put a show
Stressed
together.
out Susan.
Yeah, I don't really call that.
SOS.
The really spinning fast Susan.
SOS. Stressed out Susan.
Stressed out Susan. Oh my God, you guys are going to humiliate
Well,
myself.
really, good luck with that. And yes, please go. Make sure you go and see Andrew. And
Please check him out.
look, I've got nothing to plug now.
Okay.
I'm going to have a bit of a break, maybe a lazy Susan break. No, nothing
Okay.
going on at the moment.
All right. And as always, you can follow Adam O'Sullivan Comedian on Facebook and visit www.thenerdinfinite.com. D4WH is on Facebook. Give our page a like for updates and follow us on Twitter at D4WHpod.
Yes, please follow us on Twitter.
Yes, if you want to see us retweet almost everything put out by Who News. It is the place where we get some of our Doctor Who news. So our theme song is a minute long, so if anyone wants to remix it, please send it along to d4whpod@gmail.com and we may play it on the show.
And get your stories to
Yes.
us. What is the craziest thing you've done for your Doctor Who fandom?
That's right, that's
Craziest,
correct.
silliest, funniest, so we can use them in our podcast when we're talking about some of the things we've done.
If you're feeling daring, you can record it yourself and send it to us and we'll play it on
Absolutely.
the episode. Rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook and follow us on Podbean. In fact, we have 2 5-star iTunes reviews that we would like to read out.
Yay!
Nichia, would you like to go first?
Okay, this one is from Bottle Rack. It says, great stuff. Adam is the perfect new Who host. Sorry.
We're critiquing the reviews now. Thank you for leaving a 5-star review, Bottle Rack.
Thank you very much. He is the perfect new Who host, and Nichia brings the classic series class. I almost docked them a star for dissing the Yorkshire accents. Sorry about that. Clearly the best way of speaking English on this earth, but couldn't bring myself to do it. Looking forward to more. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Although, to be fair, is the Yorkshire accent different from the Sheffield accent? Because technically, they're from Sheffield.
Oh, well, no. And listen, people have got to listen to our Australian accent.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Our second 5-star review is from Ray M_N. So Rayman with an underscore instead of an A. It was like sitting in the TARDIS. Well done, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It was like sitting in the TARDIS because it's so echoey.
Both of those are great. Yeah, please leave your reviews.
Get the word out. You may be in the middle of a deadly duel, fighting it out with your mortal enemy on a beach as the sun falls below the horizon. You ready your fists for the final blow. You're both broken and bloody, but before you strike, you whispered with your remaining free energy, have you downloaded the newest episode of D4WH?
That would be my dying words, really. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to our podcast.
Yeah. It'll be at my funeral. I'll get up and go, and listen to my damn podcast.
On your tombstone at D4WH pod.
Follow me.
Now, there's only one thing left to ask. When shall we 3 meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air. Until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor.
And don't mention the Scottish play.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?